At long last, though, right? The moment's arrived.
Finally.
You're gonna be excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Getting a little nervous, getting the butterflies a little bit, but.
How are the nerves different for this than they were, for Olympic stuff?
Well, I think it's just been a long time since I've done anything new. My first judo match was when I was 6 years old, so it was every day for me. It was something where I trusted my judo, I trusted my instincts, I had confidence in myself. I don't remember being this nervous since I was probably 18 at the Junior Worlds. That was probably the first real big stage I competed on, and I ended up winning, so maybe nerves are good for me. I don't know.
You can use that to be a good thing, and it's kind of
I tend to shine under the lights. I tend to thrive under that pressure. I'm looking forward to it. It's just really, I'm just excited to see how I handle this new platform.
With the changes that went on with World Series of Fighting to become the PFL, did that put a delay on when you were going to make your debut?
My intentions were to compete and to fight for the first time in February of this year, because I started training about February of last year. So I wanted a full year of training. I wanted a full year of hard sparring before I stepped into the cage. But the PFL bought out World Series. They had to do a lot of rebranding. They wanted to be ready to go in January, but unfortunately they weren't ready to go until June because of some broadcasting issues and stuff like that. So June it is.
With your background in judo, people are obviously making a comparison to Ronda. I know you've talked about it, but for you, is that kind of competition between the two of you? Is that in the past because you already achieved what you wanted to achieve in judo?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ronda's always going to be like, I think that little rabbit in front of me. It's always, when I was 16 and I moved to the Pedros, she was the superstar, she was the golden girl, she was the one everyone was watching, and every day, I said to myself, I'm going to be her someday, I'm going to be better than her, anything she can do, I can do better, and it helps take me to the highest levels of my sport, so I don't see this being any different. It's positive motivation for me, it's healthy. I think it's always healthy to have, something to chase, something to look forward to, and that's even, now I train at ATT, and in some sense, Amanda Nunes is that for me, and Joanna is that for me. I see these girls, I see how successful they are, and I want to be them. I want to be the superstar. I want to be counted amongst the greats like them. So.
Did you have to cut any weight for the fight on Thursday?
I'm like 2 pounds over right now, so. No.
So not bad.
No, I'm eating, drinking, gallon of water a day, 6 meals a day, so no cut.
People have kind of talked about wrestling maybe being the one background in MMA that they can really rely on and does really well. Could you maybe say the same about judo, that's maybe the best background?
Oh yeah, I think probably even more so. Wrestling is great. You can take them down. You're a good grinder. You have a really good pace, and I think that they're really good at that wrestling mentality. But judo is a little bit different in the sense that not only can you take them down, but you can submit them. So you have a top game and you have a ground game. Whereas if you're a boxer, you can only strike. If you're a wrestler, you can take them down, but you don't know how to submit them. So judo gives you a little bit of both.
Have they told you anything about how often you'll be able to compete? Obviously, with the sort of tournament structure, you'll just be doing one-on-one.
It's in my contract to fight every 4 months, so I want to fight every 4 months, or less.
As you look forward, first of all, what do you think about the structure that they have here?
I think it's amazing. I think if you look at some of the numbers, I think it's like maybe a couple over 10 fighters in MMA make over $1 million per fight, and here you're giving how many fighters are competing in this tournament? Like 72. So you're giving 72 fighters the opportunity to make $1 million. Not only that, but you're changing the sport. It's no longer just about entertainment. It's about what you do in the cage. It's not how pretty you are. It's not how much trash you talk. There's going to be a regular season, and playoffs, and a championship. And every year, that championship is put on the line. And that's what real sports are. You have to prove yourself over and over again. You don't get to rest on your laurels. You don't get to rest on your mouth. You have to prove yourself.
Is your hope that they go out in the next 6-7 months, whatever, and get more women in your division so that they can have...
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'd love to build the women's division. That's the goal. It's not... I don't want it to just be the Kayla show. Obviously it's cool for me. They're paying attention to me. They think I'm a superstar, but that's not what sports is about. It's not a one-person show. It takes a lot of women to make something happen, and I guess I'm part of the women's movement. I want it to be more than just me.
Hey Kayla, everybody's so quickly to point out the challenges when you transition to a new sport.
Yeah.
What was something that was surprisingly easy for you?
You know what? The wrestling. in judo, you're not allowed to grab the legs. So for the last 10 years, no one's touched my legs, and I really thought that was going to be a hard transition for me. But I think because it's grappling based, and judo is such a grappling, you know, it's throws, it's pins, it's chokes, it's arm bars, you know, learning how to sprawl, learning how to shoot, doing all of that stuff was a lot easier for me to pick up on than I gave myself credit for.
Because of the abuse that you went through, you've talked about publicly, was it pretty horrifying for you to hear about what happened with USA Gymnastics?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's a tragedy. You know, it's actually absolutely insane that that still goes on in our country, and that people in power allow, you know, don't tell me that over 100 girls are abused and nobody knows about it. Like, that's complete bullshit, and it breaks my heart. You know, I've been a mentor to a lot of the girls that it happened to, and I've talked to them about it, and the one, you know, you never want anything like this to happen, but the one, I guess, good thing about it is that people are now really having this conversation, and they have created, you know, just an army of survivors, and they are a force to be reckoned with, and they refuse to be silent, and they've all stood up, and they've all been really brave and really strong, and surrounded each other with strength and braveness, and I think that is going to hopefully help change the culture, and hopefully help make it so that we don't ever have another Me Too movement, you know? There should never be another scandal like that ever again. It should never happen.
I think maybe the first of the public scandals, the Sandusky case, you could say it was the first one recently, that inspired you to start your foundation, I believe.
Yeah, it did. It inspired me to start my foundation, and it inspired me to start speaking out, and I haven't really stopped since. You know, I just recently finished a book. It's not a memoir, and it's not like a textbook. It's sort of like a combination of both. So it's called Fighting Back, and it uses my story as a guideline about what to look for in victims of sexual abuse, and it's, you know, it's about grooming, and it's about what it looks like to be in the silence, and it's about how you can talk to your kids to see if maybe something is going on. And I really want it to be for everyone. Eventually I want, you know, it to be in the 7th grade health class system, but I also want teachers and caretakers and social workers and police officers and doctors and anyone, parents, anyone who's around kids to read it, to understand it, to learn from it, and to share it.
So what was it that inspired you to start throwing kids around up there?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, MMA is like so like self-absorbed sometimes, kind of like, it's always like, oh, Kayla this, Kayla that, the Team Kayla show, like people are wearing like Kayla shirts, and it's amazing and it's cool. Like, I like being self-centered, but it should, you know, it shouldn't just be about me. And like, there's a lot of kids out there who are watching me, and I'm like, well, it's cool to watch people throw someone, but wouldn't it be even cooler? I mean, when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn how to throw people. So maybe I just got someone else started in judo. Who knows? Maybe I just changed someone's life. That's the goal.
Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.